Well, hello there, everybody. How are y'all doing? Looks good there, as I can see in the chat room. So welcome, everybody. So good to see you, and thank you for dropping in. And I just speak favor over your life. May there be nothing missing, nothing broken to be found. That is true definition of prosperity. Yeah, that's all I got to say. As I go over here and say, well, what in the world is that waiting for? I'm already here. So what's up? How'd y'all Saturday and Sunday go? Mine was really groovy. I'm going to tell you, I had some deep, deep thoughts. And we're going to share a few of them here. So anyway, so what's up, everyone in the chat room? Jeanette, good to see you. Lori, lost in space. What's up, Deborah? Nina, how are you? We'll be seeing you on Wednesday. Brian, 1958. How are you, my friend? So good to see you. What's up? How did that happen? That's odd. I'll have to... All right. Hey, Brenda, good to see you as well, my dear. Street Mom, Bonnie, Linda Espinoza. I like that. And Robin, what's up? Chloe, how are you? Rexy, I like that. That's a cool word. Rexy. Doris, buenos dias. Welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Good to see you. Saturnarian Sun, what's up? Good to see you as well. Robert V is in the house. Had a great taco weekend. No, I just put that in there, Robert. I just thought that was appropriate. It's like, how was your weekend? Man, had a fabulous taco weekend. It's like, yeah, well, what the hell is that? Hey, go, all the way from Croatia. Good to see you. I saw someone else from the region over there. I believe it's in Europe. If I saw that right. If I'm wrong, then I ask for your forgiveness. Sometimes that happens, more likely to be wrong than am right. Because in this reality, it's hard to distinguish what is right as to what is wrong. And then again, I guess it depends on that circumstance. Stephen, what's up? Good to see you as well. Stacy, trust all is well in your life as well. Lori, good to see you. So, wow, lot going on. We'll get to the fun stuff here in a second because they're here. I've taken pictures of them. Probably you have, as many of you know, way back in the day when with Steve Olson and I think the whole WSO group, and we were all into the Nibiru and the sky thing and spent, oh man, no exaggeration, like thousands of hours, cameras pointed up there, not one, but several. Yeah, caught a few when I lived in Denver. They're up there. And we're going to talk about that as well. Michelle, good to see you as well. Eric, good to see you. Hello. John Price, what's up? They never left. I think there's good evidence to support that. That question always comes back around. Well, who and what are they? Are they human? Are they humanids? Are they a completely different species? I mean, I have lots of questions. If they're able to survive in this atmosphere, then that tells me that, okay, what are the odds that they come from a planet that is exactly like ours? I mean, not to say that it isn't possible in the all realm of potentiality, but, if these boys are in the local neighborhood, then our scientists are really missing something. I mean, you think we would be able to find another Class M planet? But anyway, I digress. Makes me wonder, well, what's the deal here? If you just look at the simple, basic cognitive reasoning, if they ain't us, then what are they? And if they can live in this atmosphere, then wait a minute. I think I smelleth a rat, a big rat. Because it appears that they may, in fact, be on that family tree, the family tree. There may be a branch that we're not aware of. Just saying, just saying. Hey, Marie, what's up? Good to see you, my dear. So, so you know, I meditate. And by the way, I'll give a shout out to our good friend, Frater, Nintek, whose name is down underneath. That's a pretty powerful meditation mat that he sent me. And I'm meditating, right? Minding my own business, sitting on my own bench, and this thought comes walking by, turns and looks, and I hear myself asking this question: what is the purpose of God? What is the reason for God? In fact, what does God do? I mean, that was the question here. Now, how you answer it really will tell a lot about what you are on the inside. I mean, I was out chopping wood and, getting the old body back and, getting it into shape. It's finally getting warm out there. Got a lot of wood to cut. I could use the chainsaw, but I'd rather use the axe. So I'm out there. What is the purpose of God? G-O-D, capitalized, God. So I got a bright group in the chat room, and those of you listening and replay, thank you, by the way. Tell me, we're going to use the God of the Bible, the one that the world believes in. Now, the world believes in a lot of different gods, but that seems to be the predominant God. So, what is the purpose of God? What is its purpose? Furthermore, what is the reason for it? That's a serious question. What is the reason for God? Think about it. And then think about it and ask yourself, so what does God do? What exactly is its job? Does anyone want to care to go and just basically give me what you would see the CV resume? What does God do? Yeah, but Brian, come on, that's esoteric, brother. It says our purpose of being a God. Now, no. I don't think you get that. If you're saying that we are a God, okay, but that, we all ascend to a higher consciousness. I'm just asking that maybe it's, the theological definition. What is the purpose of God? What is the reason for it? I mean, what is its purpose? What is it supposed to do? Shirley said, God is an excuse, an alibi, the nobody in the room while wearing a not me hat. That's interesting. God is a way out of this experiment. Well, then, but then, Jackie, you're saying that God created this experiment. I mean, who, if it didn't, then who did? You see, it's interesting. Hey, Mary Wins, how you doing, darling? My point is that you think about it. It's a very simple question, but complex. I mean, what does God do? Omnipotent, omnipresent, omnipotent, maybe to keep everything in order that he has created. So then, but Gogo, you're saying then he's a schizophrenic, that he has a personality disorder. You see, folks, it gets deep, because I meditated on this for the last 2 days. My conclusion is I can't find a purpose for God. The God. I mean, because I don't think we know what that is. And the reason for its being, I don't know, unless it's here to try to clean up its mistake. And it doesn't seem to be real good at it. And then what does it do? I mean, does it play the lottery wheel and say, let's see, today I'm going to give Deborah Sloan her wish, her prayer request? What does a God do? I mean, what is the purpose of it? What is it? Anyway, Jackie, it's a profound question. All three of them are. I mean, the only way that any of this makes sense is that we've been deceived here. I mean, I thought about this. You know, I putting down insecticide, we had sugars last year. We won't have them this year. But anyway, so I'm walking, and I'm thinking about this. Now, if I go outside the paradigm of what I was raised 50 years in Christianity, they won't allow you those questions. Because you see, the matrix is set. You're imperfect, and somehow or another, God is calling you so that you can be united with God once again. But it's your fault. You lost your way, you fell from grace, etc., etc. Hey, Hadley, what's up? I'm doing well. How about yourself, my dear? Good to see you. Yeah, Dave Sellen says, maybe we should ask Siri or Alexa. I went back and did another session with this Bard thing, and no, that's a broken system. And it's weird because the way it responds back, what is God? That's a difficult question. There are many different beliefs. I can go on and on, but it got me to this point. So what does God do? We say as gods, you and I, and goddesses, that the thing that is really the interpretive definition of hell is boredom. I mean, if you're being tormented all the time, that gives you basically a reason to say, I'm either going to get even with you or I'm going to get out of this. The point is, it motivates you. And if you're in the void, you don't have any idea how to get out of the void, what the void is, then you're going to get this. You'll have plenty of time to think about it. And I'm not being sacrilegious. I'm not being in any way disrespectful in the belief. I believe that every human being, and I'm not sure what that even means, should be asking the question, what is the purpose of God? I mean, what's its reason for existence? And then what does it do? You think about this. Now, I can get that there's this freaking brilliant, utopia, and there's this higher consciousness that we're all trying to achieve. That's fine. But sometimes I get to the point where I hear all this and I'm going, but you folks aren't answering some basic questions. Before you get to the 5D, explain this down here to the 3D. Stirring the pot. I am. Folks, it's messed up. And then when you add what we now know, we know where they're hiding. I mean, either they let it out or our technology caught up with them. Do you know that I believe it is the F-22 Raptor, the latest generation, is now invisible? Yeah, it's invisible, literally. So, and I've captured it. I put this together because I thought it's worth talking about, because something going on here, folks. That's all I got to tell you. Something going on, and it ain't making sense. I mean, I get this. I haven't been able to sleep the last couple of nights. Neither is my wife, and we both just analyzed it. There's something brewing. We can feel it. I don't have any freaking idea what it is. But this is an this is with this. All right, let's just say hypothesis. Excuse me 1 second, folks. I'm dog watching, and the little guy isn't feeling good. So just you got to do what you got to do, because after all, that is it. So let me see, where am I? I think we'll just go there. Maybe hey, does that work? Let's see. Yeah, it does. All right, I'm back. Poor little fella. You got that. I think it's hip dysplasia. And y'all know, I mean, dogs do get old, and well, so we take care of them. So I put this together. What a cloud can hide. Now, as I was saying before I got interrupted here, was that, okay, so they could have been around here for millions of years. I mean, we're the rats in the trap. As I wrote to someone, said, the rat said, forget the cheese. Just get me out of the trap. So here's the deal. And we now know that they're here. I mean, here's the thing. If you think about this and you're observant, start taking pictures of the clouds around you. Because what we found out was that there were some pretty brilliant people that began to say, that cloud never moves. Never. Or that cloud's always there. May not be in the exact same place, but it's always there. And I found this one interesting because that is, well, if you live in the mountains, you live off like I did for many years, the Front Range. Hey, Gilbert, what's up? Ryder, all the rest. We know what lenticular clouds are because, they're sometimes called mountain wave clouds. But the problem with this is that this is not near any mountain range. Well, in fact, this is down what you would call in the more southern latitudes where there's palm trees. Now, some people can say, well, it could be an anomaly. Sure. That's what they want you to think. Let's continue. Now, again, I know what mountain waves are. I know what, we can define all of these, but, sometimes, you can write Stariness in the face and we would go, well, that's just a cloud. Meteorologically, we can explain exactly how the atmospheric rivers and, the air currents coming together produce. Yeah, we get that. But what if? Now, this is supposedly, when you get extremely cold temperatures up there, 100,000 or so feet, and then all of a sudden you have this rush of air that comes down. This is what they're saying. Sure. Or it could actually be a saucer mothership. Maybe, let's just play war games here. Maybe this is a ship, not a scout ship. This is a guard ship. Maybe it can do far more than just make a perfect hole in the clouds. Because you see, we have this crazy thing called pareidolia. It's what our brains do. And our brains will, make pictures out of, something that looks obscure, but once the brain begins to really function in and go, okay, wait a minute. Now I can make a picture up, but this has got substance to it. So, yeah. And quite frankly, I have flown hundreds of thousands of miles, sit near the window, always typically with seat 1A. And to pass the hours away, once I finished the work I was needing to do, that's what I did, is looked out there and I saw some strange stuff. Now, this is the picture, not from a plane, but as you can see now, it was taken right from the ground. There it is. Plain as day. There it is. Weird. Now, some of these are my pictures. I took these pictures. Many of these are in the parking lot at King Supers, right at Wildcat and Highland Ranch Parkway. Yeah, I've heard all the stories. I even talked to a couple of the meteorologists and got the science behind it. But you know what? Sometimes, you're looking at this going, okay, I've learned enough in my life to question everything. I don't believe what the government tells me. I don't believe what scientists find. I don't believe what religion tells me. I believe that it is my purpose is a purpose of discovery. Now, I could maybe apply it to the same rationale of what a G, capital O, capital D does. Means we got more in common than the normal type person. Now, the other thing we know is that people don't look up. And when they look up to the sky, the brain can only take in so much data. So the brain relies on basically kind of the holographic recall of your experience, and it literally substitutes what is visible to what you already remembered. Our brains are limited in what it can actually do, but look at that. And what's odd, if you look at this part of the cloud and you start noticing, this is why this makes this. And if you see as well, the crispness of, all right, spell that 5 times anyway. Yeah. I mean, this has got that Independence vibe all over it, right? Independence Day. And I often wonder how many beings are occupying in these ships. Or are they completely autonomous? In other words, they don't need any bioforms in there. I don't know. But again, why is this here? Why doesn't our government tell us about it? Why is it that they wait for us to, and then they just one little bite at a time? But again, when you've got 10 billion cameras out there, and that's probably a conservative estimate, we're going to start seeing things that we could say is new, but they may be old. Now, you may ask, what is this? Well, this is, and I'll just say it for what it is. This is supposedly an authentic off-worlder technology in communicating. And actually, this is the picture of the Earth, but taken from the moon. But we haven't been at the moon. Getting back to here on Earth, The thing about it too is that the vast majority of people aren't trained to be observers of clouds. I mean, I at best would be a novice, but I have, poquito knowledge on that. Here we go. I mean, and what better way to cloak yourself than to be a cloud? And then you move amongst the other clouds. Because perfectly round circles are always nature's preferable way of forming a cloud. Forget the wind currents and what have you. Do you see it? This is the other thing that is, it's one of those things you go, oh, crap. They can be camouflaged on a clear, blue, cloudless day. Now, if you can see this one, the thing that I find on this one, it looks familiar to, a TR3, triangle craft. But the great thing about Hollywood is that Hollywood lets out little secrets. So how many of you remember the Avengers? And if you go there into that scene, you'll see how the floating aircraft, the flying aircraft carrier, how it was able to cloak itself. It uses the surrounding light and what have you, and you can't tell the difference. The folks in North Carolina were a little freaked out when they saw this fly overhead. Yeah. And this is what happens when you take a picture when you're running. But I would probably be running to take pictures of it as well. Now, this is over Sweden. This craft demonstrated, and you can go see the video online, there's plenty of it. This craft appears to be generating a warp field or a wormhole. I don't know. But it definitely has the ability to generate some sort of alternate atmospheric phenomenon. And once it hits it, man, it's gone. And this is the after effect. I mean, how would most people, when they look up, the sun is bright. Yeah, because the sun is changing. Wouldn't even know, how to capture something like this. And then you got those other times where you're just asking yourself, so what the hell is that? But hiding in a cloud, particularly, one that's got a storm front to it, an intense low pressure system, ideal habitat. I mean, if you're able to stabilize the atmospheric pressure and everything else, and our technology, people say, well, that's not possible. You know what? Seriously? We don't know what's not possible and what is possible. Now, this is an interesting cloud. This is the original. This was taken over Texas, as I understand. Now, this one is just filled with all sorts of... I mean, we've all seen the towering, cumulus clouds, reaching, 50, 60,000 feet in the atmosphere. It's going to be a bad day if you're underneath it. But, this one is, and what makes it so odd when you look at it is, well, it just looks out of place, doesn't it? But yeah, this is completely normal, happens all the time, everywhere. And you can get, those of you who live in the mountains, you can get what they call, what's the light? Vertical light? Is that what the word I'm thinking of? But I'll think of it. I think that's the right word. But anyway, if you're skiing, you lose the ability to actually see the terrain. And most people have an adverse reaction to looking up at the sun or a bright sky. You wouldn't never catch it, particularly in some place like New York City. Now, I talked about the mountain wave clouds and the venticular clouds, but again, I'm suspect of this one. It's not to say that it's not true. I've seen them form from what was just a little wisp, and many of y'all who live out there, Well, why do you think about it? That would be the ultimate camouflage. Us animals down here, because we started out with the simian. Man, people don't like hearing that, but it's just face it, folks. It's just the way it is. What better way to hide in plain sight? I have some friends in law enforcement years and years ago. One was a homicide detective, and I remember Daryl telling me, he said, the thing about it is that people miss things, and they're right in front of them. So we each have our own opinion, our own view. This, again, I took this picture myself. So now either these things follow me, because, just a couple of weeks ago, I showed you the phenomenon that took place at my house, and we've moved. I didn't say anything to anyone, and because, just my personal opinion, but I've seen enough of these going, okay. People say, well, it's a harp effect. I don't know about that. Again, we wouldn't know what to look at. But there's enough observers out this. So supposedly Moscow, I don't know. Everyone can make their own opinion. I did the video on the Siths that live, the cloud Siths. And of course, this is completely normal. I mean, rectangles always show up in the sky, and they're always on, highly lit. I mean, either that is a ship or we're looking at a genuine portal. I don't know which. Is it a door? Maybe this is the door that opens to the stairway to heaven. I don't know. I just know it's something. Let's see. I forget which city this was taken from. Japan. I don't care what anyone says. If you think that's a cloud, that's fine. You can believe it. It's my humbled opinion that I'm a little more suspicious. What if we sent a probe through the middle of that cloud? I wonder if it would hit anything metallic. I didn't. Or maybe it's not metallic at all. Maybe it's some substance that we haven't even discovered yet. China. I don't know if this is Project Blue Beam or if we got a race of aliens that live in the clouds. I don't know. Now, the interesting thing about this picture, which was taken in Florida, Lynn and I, when we lived in Colorado, were coming home. We were at something, and as we're getting close to the subdivision that we lived in, all of a sudden there was this, it looked very familiar to this, except it was red. And I mean, it came down and it was less than a second. Yeah, I have no idea. And now we're finding, I don't know, are they dragons? Kaz, how you doing, dear? But apparently there are beings that, or are something. I don't know if this is organic. I don't know if this is, I don't know. But it would not surprise me. There'll be dragons in the sky. And then you get this kind of weird stuff. That's where that pareidolia goes thing out there. It's like, yeah. Weird, isn't it? He's got the whole world. Yeah, there you go. Come on, sing along. In his hand. Yeah, you got it. And then, here is the angel dude, with his entourage just walking through. Yeah. Pardon me. I got to get out of here. I got to go somewhere. I don't know. And of course, this is completely normal. This actually, I believe, was taken in Colorado. Sure. Well, marvel of nature. Yeah. Okay. And I just don't even know what even to say about that one. Love is grand. I thought it was particularly interesting in the glasses. I mean, are they messing with us? I don't know. But this is to all y'all who live over in England. This was taken in England. Is that a face? Well, it looks like one to me. Got no idea who it is. Never been personally introduced, but obviously some very distinguishing characteristics. It's good to see. I don't know if that's hair, but, pretty interesting to me. And then you just get these beans, whatever they are. I mean, I'd kind of dig it. I could really get into this. I mean, you've got the whole freaking planet to dance upon. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And of course, that's always normal. It's like, sure, dear, do you see that cloud? It seems like it's got a hole in it. Not a problem. Nothing to see here. Again, more than a cloud. So that's my 2 cents worth on the subject, because it definitely appears that there is something amiss. And like I said, a number of those pictures, the ones particularly with the holes in the cloud, with the, sun refracting in them. I mean, I don't know. They seem to be there. And you go back to the backup channel, I think still has some of those. I have them on disc. But yeah. Grace says they're just messing with us. Yeah, they are messing with us, and I don't know. Again, it's, hey, Cass, how you doing, darling? Strangeness is about everywhere. And I was thinking, we've got some things happening, folks, that are I don't like to get into the negative energy, but because, there are things in motion right now that very well in the next couple of weeks, and I'm just telling you some of the things I'm getting from some of the analysts that I follow, something's up. They keep saying, next couple of weeks are going to be very interesting, and I don't know. So are they just going to stay up there? Are they just going to let us self-annihilate ourselves? Are they just going to let us continue to degrade into chaos? I mean, there's stuff going on right now that we could just go on. I mean, it could be banned conspiracy. It could be banned, agenda. I don't know, but it's very clear something is going on. I'll just say this, if you live in the United States and you have greenbacks, we're about to get a shock. And if Saudi Arabia makes the move, which I think they are, then the United States currency is fucked big time. Russia and China did exactly what they said they were going to do, break our dollar. And I don't know, if the others who are playing a role in this, but I know it's true. These are not hypothetical negative things, folks. We all have to live day to day. And, there's so many coincidences happening at the same time. I mean, and you begin to go, now, wait a minute, this just can't be coincidence. And again, if the Saudis change the petrodollar from the American greenback to the Chinese currency, yeah. It's just like, okay, so are they going to come down and kick our ass? I don't know. The aliens, do they really care? Is the planet really being terraformed? I mean, it's interesting. If you just look on what's on Prime Video and you look at Netflix and all of them, many of you already know this. They've done the movies. They've done the series. They're telling us something is about to happen. You can't say you've not been warned, but something is about to happen. And, all you have to do is step back and just quiet yourself and just look at it. And you begin to see that there is sign after sign after sign. Now, do you believe in signs? I don't know. China, right? I don't know what that is. No aliens, Nina says, just us. And, we're going to have that conversation. Hey, Dirty Filthy Money, how you doing, dear? Good to see you. Lilith, how you doing? Chris, good to see you. But seriously, folks, that is a storm that when it unleashes, it's not going to be pretty for us here in the United States. It's going to be very difficult, folks. Constance, how are you? I did. Yes, Constance, that is absolutely true. I'll have to go back and get that. Lilith, how are you doing? Good to see you. Love Lilith. She's quite the gal. New Yoda, what's up? So, and then, you look at this and you go, okay, all right. And then you read this article on, the so-called whoever's behind this AI. And you're going, oh, crap. I mean, this is like one of those moments you're going, oh, crap. I mean, we really did loose the genie out of the bottle on this one. I mean, holy crap. And then again, are they going to come down? Are they going to intervene? They're showing themselves. They don't seem to be hiding it anymore. There's thousands of theories out there. I mean, what is the mothership? Is that a code word? Is this a psyops job? What are they preparing us for? What is this? It has to be a distraction. I mean, if you're about to see a currency collapse, you might want a distraction. What else better time? Trumpus, how are you, Cyborg Mask? it says, what's happening to unconditional love? Yeah, I'd love to see that. It's like people just can't seem to get along. And, it's even our societal customs are up in upheaval. So what do? Deborah says, reality coming to the Galactic Federation of Light. Again, it's that question. And I love this group. I love your minds. I mean, this is, I look forward to the day, and thanks for hitting the like button. When we can get together. I mean, when I look at the craft, all right, so even our government here in the United States, disclosure is taking place in virtually all the other, I think it's France, Great Britain, Brazil. I mean, just one after the other saying, hey, there's something up there. We don't know what it is. Something's up there. You got to go, okay. And so I ask myself the simple question, what do they believe? I mean, if you're in one of these crafts, and I came to the conclusion, I can't answer that question. I don't know how they think. They obviously know how we think. They've been around long enough. I don't have a freaking clue as to what they think. I don't know what they believe. I mean, I saw one of them in the Vatican, and then I'm thinking, whoa, wait a minute. You're telling me the aliens believe in this Christian God that we can't find any history on? How'd that come about? And then I'm thinking, well, why would it wear, the red, which, really put it up high, you got the white, and you got the white and the red, and then you got the red. You know what I'm saying? Esley, I don't know. Is that making reference to the Lucy show? Oh, there we go. I like ODS. I've looked at clouds from both sides. Now, whoever thought that Judy Collins would have actually been able to been our guide on this one? If we just only listened, right? Yeah. It's one of those things. I mean, if these things exist, I'm just a simple guy, and I'm going, all right, this is profound for our species. Someone wrote me and said, you're talking about what we discuss here on this channel in philosophy and in religion and, just generally things in general. Said, well, you're part of this upheaval. You're causing it. They were telling me that, the way you question things and the way you bring out the person, I can't argue with you. They said, but I'm just want to let you know that have you thought that, you're part of this? Well, if I am, okay, someone had to do it. That's all I got to say. Someone's got to do it. Why not us? Put them on Murray. And hook them up to the lie detectors. And listen, we're going to be talking with JD Temple and Nina, and JD, I think, is going to be bringing guests. I haven't confirmed that, but so we're going to be doing, this Demonology 101. I mean, that's the question I have now for one of these, beings. Azel, are you human? What's your purpose here? Why are you here? If you're here, then that says that you believe in this Hebraic God, right? See, these are the kind of questions that I think we need to ask. Listen, we gave the angels on the other side, I believe in equal time. That's all I got to go. The spell has been broken. The shadow government knows that they have known since Genesis. True. Yeah, I can see that. The sky people. Yeah, it's replete in history. Every culture has a story. Yeah. Paul Joe says there's a silver lining in every cloud. Problem is now we know what the silver, it's a metal craft, right? Or some kind of translucent craft, it's like, ay, ay, ay. I did that video, and again, someone said that I needed a backup channel. I have all the videos I've ever done. So, which to date is a little over, I don't know, 4,000 plus. But I did the one on the terraforming. Wow. And I just had the idea planted in my head, hey, Steiger, there's another way of looking at this. They ain't coming here. They've been here. And to terraform a planet, it takes a little time. These are not projects that are merely years, decades, centuries. Sometimes it takes millennia to terraform a planet. But it always reaches that tipping point, that point of initial mass when it exceeds its capacity to contain. And maybe we're at that tipping point. I don't know. Paul Joe says, doesn't Azazel skip across them? I don't know. I have my books, but the way I kind of look at it, I think it's going to be interesting for the people who have that knowledge that is their belief system. And I think it's vitally important. I mean, ignorance is a self-inflicted disease easily cured by knowledge. Some dude by the name of Wayne Steiger came up with that. But anyway, so we're we're going to get a little smarter in all this. Centenarian Sun, non-humans invaded so long ago, a physical invasion is, I think so. I question this. Some of the stuff that I read and I'm going, you can't tell me we're all the same. No. So then the next logical step in that would be, if we're all not the same on the inside, then did we all come from the same source? There was a time I would have said yes to that. I'm not so sure anymore, because there are the acts of others that's not human. They may walk, they may talk, but there's obviously something empty inside, or should I say, something that is completely contrarian to what others in other tribes or groups would say. Well, we choose not to act like that. We choose, to seek the ethereal, the spiritual above, all things. Truth drops, keeping it real, and the heaven departed as the scroll when it rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their place. Yeah, I don't know what that means. I don't know. But what I interpret that to mean is a lot of humans are going to die. And I have said this time and time again, and I'll continue. We can do better this. We may be hybrids. We may come from many different places and many different beginnings. But, when I see what I see now, boy, am I ever grateful and thankful that I got to see the late 60s and 70s. Yeah. Lived it too. But man, the world was a shithole then. 1970 wasn't exactly what I would call a real partying year. I mean, for some of us, but the world was messed up. But when I look compared to then to now, holy crap. Take me back to the island. That's all I got to say. A lot of humans die every day. Chris, that is so true. Yes. My wife and I were talking the other night, and I said, because I was trying to get this thing about God. What's his purpose? What is its thing? And I told her, I said, when I read the books from various different religions and points of view and philosophy and how they look at things and us and the human condition, I said, I don't think whoever was responsible for all this, I don't think they had a plan B. She looked at me and she says, what do you mean a plan B? I said, well, the idea we are born into this realm, we're exposed to all this sensory gratification, and we get so ingrained into it that we really think that this is life. But I said, it appears that this may actually be the death before the life, because I said, if there is this creator that created all things and created this place here, I said, then did it also plan for death? I mean, was that in the original business plan? In the implementation plan, was there this thing called death? Was there this thing called the afterlife? I mean, I looked at her and I said, my point is death an afterthought? And she started laughing and she says, I get that. But think about it. If you're the God creating everything, that's life, right? So what? Why did you have death in there? And what was this place after what you created dies into? What is that like? No, I'm trying to reason this out. So, if I'm writing the business plan, of course I can't think like God. I mean, if this thing exists, I mean, it's higher intelligence. All right, I get that. But even the simplest man seems wise who asked the right question. Why? So really, was this afterlife? Was that plan B? And how well was that thought out? I mean, my question is, was it thought out like this is over here? If it is, oh, crap, over there. Oh, crap. Yeah, I can see why we would want to put structure and form to that, because if it ain't, woo, brother and sister, all I got to say is strap in tight, put on the big boy britches, because woo. All right. Y'all are such a great group. I mean, what a beautiful group of people. Death as the afterthought. Very impelling thoughts. Rick, indeed. All right. I mean, do the Barry Manilow thing. I ask the questions. It's like, I'm just trying to find out, I'm just trying to find out. And that's why I love reading how y'all see it and perceive it, because I don't think any of us have it perfectly, but I got a sense that each one of us carries a little bit of the code, That's just my take on it. I also believe that there is the day coming very close and very soon where, well, I think we can introduce an alternative to this. Yeah, this anyway. Ginger, how are you, my dear? Have you headed on over to Down Under yet? I love this. Yeah, y'all are just amazing. Well, all right, you bunch of lovers and, you groovy people, y'all are just far out. And no matter what the ride is, I couldn't think of a better group of people to be on the ride with. This is a partying crowd. I mean, we got our own bus, that's cool. And maybe that's what it is about. You get your own bus because, if you're in that bus, then you've got a lot of kinetic energy, a lot of psychic energy that, man, begins to coalesce and begins to form. And we can do some big, big stuff. I mean, we can change some stuff, folks. We may not be able to change the world in our time, but I'll guarantee you this, we can do enough that it will project into the time yet to come. And the other side, I think we're going to ride that wave as well. because I can't help but not think that if you leave from this realm into that realm and you meet a similar like spirit mind, why can't, I mean, are you telling me they don't have conversations over there? Yeah. Anyway, I'm telling you, I think we're building into something. All right, folks. B says, I will be 54 in July. Well, happy day, a little bit ahead, but make sure it's a good day for you. Snake Jones, good to see you and everybody else. Thank you. Thank you all. You know, we are the solution. That's why they fear us so much. They may call us crazy. They may call us, heretical, you blasphemer. But the thing about it is, we're not the ones that accuse. We're just the ones that try to love. Your belief isn't a threat to my point of view. I love it. I embrace it. May not always understand it, but heck, that's all right. It's like cheese. I like cheese, but I got to tell you, I don't like Limburger cheese. You understand? It kind of really stinks, right? Hey, London, how you doing, McLovin? Good to see you. MJ, I don't think death is the word. It's more transitioning. I agree with you. Yeah. I sense a lot of us, man, we won't even realize that it happened. I mean, we're just going, we will, as they say, go for a siesta, and then we will wake up in the fiesta. All right, join me tomorrow with Miss Trina, and Wednesday I'm looking forward to this with JD and Nina. Getting I'm very, very curious, because that's what knowledge is about, curiosity. Folks, much love to you. Thank you again. And as the cowboys say, happy trails until